My name is Kurt, and this is the MFGCast. Welcome to Stellar Leap. Take on the role of an alien species as you discover new planets and mine asteroids to complete missions in this worker placement space exploration game. In this video, I'll show you how to play Stellar Leap, and then we'll come back and I'll let you know what I think about it. I've set up a 3-player game. Every player gets a player board, resource cubes of matching colors, and a reference card. I love these ones the most because they're orange and they look like badass crystal bunnies. Then, use the other colored cubes for your action track. Next, depending upon player count, each player gets 2 trait and species dice power cards and picks one of each to keep for the game. The trait cards give you a secret objective to score points at the end. The species dice powers give you, dice powers. Now let's take a look at our galaxy. We've got the dice cards set up from 1 to 6. Now shuffle up the deck of safe planets, dangerous planets, and events and set them next to the galaxy. Then randomly choose a universal dice power and place it in the top left corner of the galaxy. Then, starting with the first player and going clockwise, each player places their home planet in the galaxy with one of their cue chits, I said it, and one figure in a column closest to that column's dice card. Note! Planet cards are always placed in the solar system closest to the dice cards. How about we set out some mission cards, friends? We'll set out the mission 1 and 2 cards equal to twice the number of players. Math! So in a 3-player game, there's 6 mission 1 cards, 6 mission 2 cards, and then we're going to use all of the tier 3 mission cards. Now, reveal 4 mission 1 cards. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. Here's an example of a mission 1 card with your resources and your rewards. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But what do we do on our turn? Don't worry, friends. I'll show you. First off, recover your exhausted population. Move your population from the gear icon over to the mountain icon. What do those represent? We'll talk about that later. Second, roll dos dice. Dos means 2 in Spanish. Third, apply a dice manipulation power. Use your species power or the universal power to manipulate the dice. Fourth, planets generate resources if they're in the columns matching the die values and the sum of those die values. So in this example, this planet, home planet, is in the 5 column, so that'll generate those resources. And in this home planet, it's in column 4, and that'll generate those resources. So if you have at least 1 population on the mountain space on a planet, you gain resources equal to the amount of the left side of the planet. If a planet is overpopulated, which means that more than 1 species occupies the planet, then resources are gained on the right side of the card by each species. If the values on both of the dice are the same, like so, congratulations! Then that planet specified on the die gets twice the amount of resources. Fifth, move your population, activate high command actions, and or activate divisions in any order, and we'll talk about that a little later. Sixth, check for event conditions, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's talk about movement. You can move your population as many times as you want, as long as you have the resources to do so. You can move any of your populations from one planet to another by spending oxygen and fuel. Spend 1 oxygen for every population you're moving. Also, spend fuel for each solar system you're traveling through, plus fuel equal to the threat level of the planet that you're moving to. Moving to a home planet is not allowed. Another thing you can do is take up to 2 high action commands. These include populate. Spend 2 food and 1 water to add population to the mountain spot of a planet in which you already have a population. Or tax. Receive 2 resources of your choosing. Or discover. Draw 2 cards from any planet deck. Select one and return the other to the bottom of the deck. Place the discovered planet or asteroid in the solar system closest to that column's dice card. If you put out an asteroid, place an asteroid die starting at value 3. Or attack an opponent. If you have the majority on a planet, you can attack your opponent. When attacked, your opponents scatter and retreat in clockwise player order to any planet in the same solar system as the attacked planet. If no available planet in the same solar system, then to a planet of their choice in the nearest solar system. You don't need any fuel or oxygen to retreat, but those populations that have retreated are now exhausted. The person gains a chit from every player that was successfully attacked. Those are used for endgame scoring. Also during your turn, you have 3 divisions, and you can activate each one once per turn. Those divisions are the Intelligence Division. With this division, you can complete 1 mission, spend the resources to complete it, and set the card off to the side for victory points. The Mining Division. With this division, you can mine 1 asteroid using the movement rules. Roll the amount of dice equal to the value on the asteroid die. Then receive a number of resources according to the type and number on the asteroid card and the highest value of the dice you rolled. Lastly, move your population back to the planet it was on without any movement cost. The Labor Division. Move one of your population on a planet to the exhausted area and receive the resources listed. Exhausted populations here cannot move or attack. During each turn, make sure to check for triggered events. Events give a bonus that are either immediate or for the rest of the game. Events are triggered when the following occurs. The last planet or asteroid in a solar system is discovered. When all players have 3, 6, or 9 population. After 3, 6, or 9 asteroids are discovered. A tier of missions are complete. A planet deck is completed. The last round is triggered after the 6th event. Points are tallied by completing missions, your trait card, and player board achievements. Highest score wins. In the event of a tie, the tied player with the most discovery wins. If there is still a tie, the player with more population wins. Now that I've introduced you to Stellar Leap, I'd like to tell you my thoughts on it. I really dig this game. The first time we actually played this game was at Gen Con 2015, and it was a prototype at the time. Played it with my wife Tracy, I think Eric from What's Eric playing, and a couple other people, and it just really blew me away. Even the prototype was awesome because it had awesome boards and awesome cards, and just the production value now is just amazing with the art and the spaces for putting all of your resource cubes and your little guys and stuff like that. Like, I really like this game. I don't really see any flaws in it. The dice manipulation powers are cool too, because you not only do you have a species power, but you have a universal power that kind of, makes you manipulate what you want to do on the board to get certain resources to kind of help you win the game. And I like the events too, because they have rewards that you can get either immediately or kind of goes on through the game, and that kind of spices things up. The dice rolling is kind of like one of those things that people either really love or they hate, because it's like you're putting chance, but there's still some ways to kind of manipulate things and kind of really get things to go your way. And I'm really excited about this game, and I really enjoy it. So let's give Stellar Leap a rating on the MFGCast rating scale. I give this an MFGCast must-have because there's nothing that I have bad to say about it. I just really like this game, you know, between the art and the story of the characters and the dice rolling and the dice manipulation, the space theme, and being able to do fun things like mining asteroids and stuff like that. Like, this game just has a lot of what I love. So I think that you should go out and grab Stellar Leap by Weird Giraffe Games, designed by Carla Kopp. Thanks everybody for watching this video on our review of Stellar Leap. Thank you to Weird Giraffe Games for letting us have a review copy for us to tell you about it. If you like this video, check out the MFGcast podcast wherever podcasts are sold. Thanks for watching. My name is Kurt, and this was the MFGcast.